Hello,
Hello, good night.
how are you?
Pretty good, thank you. Yourself?
Fine, fine.
Good.
Good to see you here because I had a meeting before and no one were there. Maybe they forgot the date or I don't know.
You had a meeting before for this class?
Yeah, before this one
Really? When was that?
at 9 a.m. Not 9 p.m.
Honestly, I didn't even
Oh,
knew
no,
about it.
not with you, another group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. No, it was another group from the master, and they were, I mean, I could see in the forums that they had a lot of doubts and
Mhm.
they might be good to have some help, but no one was there.
Well, looks like they didn't care enough.
Yeah, maybe they don't care enough. Or maybe they don't feel like confidence with me. I don't know.
I don't know. But we're here.
But yeah, anyway, that's other story.
Yeah.
This is ours. How are you feeling? How do you feel in this course?
Well, up to today, I mean, last week I fall a little behind because I had a few visitors here in my house because we had a family reunion, and I fall behind. This week I'm trying to get up to date, but I have my doubts on one activity, so I'm going to let somebody else join us, and then we can start asking for the questions or the doubts that we have.
Yes, of course, and that's the goal of this. I mean, it's not a class, as I told you, it's just to see how are you doing in the course, how do you feel, if there are any doubts, anything that I can help you with. So you can start. The meeting is being recorded if you are not, if you don't have any problem with it. So maybe you can start asking.
Okay,
Yeah.
we've been talking in between us, and I think that we all share the same doubt. We're stuck in activity 1.6. The first portfolio that you
1.6.
asked us
Yes.
to do. I'm not really sure what we need to do. I've done the other activities. I'm right now working on activity 2.4,
Mhm.
which is a lot of reading. The 2.3 was a lot of reading, and I'm done with that one. I'm doing 2.4, but I really skipped 1.6 because I wasn't sure what I needed to do. Well, one of my colleagues tried to explain me what she understood, but still, I'm not sure. So I'm just waiting for this so you can help us with that activity. Maybe it's very simple, and that's why I mean we didn't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, sometimes the instructions are not that easy to understand. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's okay. Uh, Maybe Guillermina, do you want to share with us something?
Yes, I have the same problem. I haven't done this activity 1.6. I have the theory, like I understood what I have to do, but then when it gets to the evidence, like what am I going to do? I don't have groups. I just have individual students. How am I supposed to? What kind of evidence am I supposed to show? The part of the evidence I have, like the activities according to these different
Mhm.
way of being or learning to be, learning to do, learning to
Parts, yeah.
living together, etc. But then the evidence, like how am I going to record evidence? And the activity for this week is like a follow-up for that first activity.
Yes,
If I don't have the first one, what am I going to do with the second part?
yes, I understand completely. But well, sometimes the instructional design is kind of focused in teachers who are right now having a group of 5 or 50 students. that sometimes who makes the design forgets that not all the time are we having classes in front of our students, or that sometimes we have courses like by modules like we do here, because this is not a 4 months or 6 months course, it's just some weeks. And sometimes like they forget that. And also this program we are in is also thought for people with directive places, roles, and so not everybody has this facility to make the activities complete. And I understand completely. I was watching this, the rubric, the criteria, just to see how the evidence is 25%. I wasn't sure of that. I couldn't remember, and I was into the activity to see that, and the evidence is 25%. Okay. I'm thinking that maybe we can make a change on that, because not everybody is going to be able to show evidence if they don't have groups in this moment. So maybe, yeah, I think I'm gonna talk with the people that are coordinating this program, and maybe we can make a change, like an exception. And I might suggest that change for all the groups. I mean, because we should be able to understand and be flexible on that terms. So yes, I get what you say. I remember when I was studying that some of the activities were focused on what you do with your group, and you had to show some documents that can't depend only on your work, but in the work your students do. And that's a difficult part sometimes. And when, for example, the period when I am in holidays at my school and I had these activities, these homeworks, I wasn't able to post them correctly. So well, it happens, right? But anyway, I might say you shouldn't worry, but you were saying that we had the next activity, which is which one, Guillermina? Which is the next activity that you say that it's connected with this?
Yes, let me take a look at it.
2.5, I guess.
2.5?
Well, 2.5 says final activity portfolio on the second unit, because the first unit was 1.6 final activity portfolio. And we thought that the next one, the 2.5, was a follow-up of the first.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
I have a question here.
Yeah, sure.
Here in the last part of the criteria says evidence-based and consist inclusion of evidence that back up the claims a professor makes, evidence of teaching accomplishments, and students' learning of the efforts to improve teaching. So I don't know what I have to add.
No, that is something you can't do if you don't have students. That's my point, that you can make all the planning, all the programming, all the design. You can create beautiful activities, but if you don't have students, you can't put it into action. And if you don't put it into action, you don't have any evidence of all of these things that they ask for in the criteria. So it would be not difficult. It would be impossible to have this part of the points. So that's why I'm thinking on asking for a change in the design, so you can submit your work, I mean, what you plan, but not necessarily the evidence, because which it's not semester is 4 months. In which period are you? What's the grade you are in?
Fifth
In
period.
Fifth? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You are not yet in the thesis period. So, because when you are at the final part of your program, they ask you to have some kind of experiences and activities and things for the experiments you are going to show, but it's not the case, not yet. So maybe that's a problem. You know, it's the first time that I teach this, that I have this course, specifically this course. I was very excited because of the subject. I like very much, but there are some things that I couldn't observe carefully from the beginning. Now I'm seeing all these small details that they seem to go like they're not very important, but they are, because if you don't have the raw material for it, which are our students, we won't be able, right? So yeah, and I was watching also 2.5, right? I'm watching it also to see that yeah, they ask for evidence also, inclusion of evidence that backs up the claims the professor makes, evidence of teaching accomplishments, of student learning, and of efforts to improve teaching. No, that's gonna be a little bit difficult to achieve, to make. Okay, yeah, this have to take the 1.6.
So it is not necessary to include any evidence of this.
The criteria says you should, but I'm going to ask the coordinator to give us some permission to make an exception here and change that criteria in the final activities, because I'm not sure, but maybe the other one in the next module, I'm going to.
Well, I don't have a problem with the evidence. In my case, I'm in front of a group. But the situation is that I don't understand what is the evidence that they want.
Okay.
The evidence of the teaching accomplishment, students learning, and effort to improve teaching. So what kind of evidence is asking about?
Okay, it depends on the activities you were programming. If, for example, you want to make some change in the attitude of your students, you might plan with some homework, an extra part, which asks the students to help one of their peers, for example. So that's the way you are going to evaluate this attitude part, this collaborative characteristic of the student. So maybe in the first one, you make the design, you show this activity with your students. They do it, and they get into action with it, and then you will have some results, and those results are going to be shown here, and somehow that will be a way of saying that you are now evaluating something new that you implement, in your regular classes, and the sequence of it with the things that you are learning here with the pedagogical techniques and the designs that you are making with new activities is what you have to do. And I mean, for example, I made this activity, this is my design, and in this point in particular, I evaluate this attitude. So I have these results. I can compare the way my students used to work before, how they work now after I did this planning, and maybe make some conclusions about it. I can see that it's better the way we work in collaborative with collaborative instructions, for example. I don't know. I'm just saying some things that might go there because it depends completely on what each one creates for their own activities. But I'm sorry. Let me mute this. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Then does that mean that we can, so it's not going to be a video, it's not going to be a picture, it's going to be like our own conclusions based on our activity? That could be the
That
thing?
could be, yeah, that could be, because it's not that easy. For example, if I'm having this activity to improve the pronunciation of my students, maybe if I have their consent and they are aware that they are being recorded, maybe I could show some evidence in this kind of media like video, and that could be. But for example, that's a little bit more difficult, and in some institutions they don't allow us teachers to show, for example, an exam. So this evidence is going to have to be what you planned, what you did. I mean, like, I'm going to trust your word, and if you tell me what I see this in my students, these are new things, this is better, this is worse, I learned that I shouldn't do this, in particular this action. So that would be the evidence. It's very difficult to have a real evidence where I can see, for example, your students, the work of your student, because of the nature of the laws and many things. And if you are working, for example, with teenagers or children, it's impossible. I mean, you will need like the permission of each parent. It's very difficult. So maybe the evidence could be the conclusions that you get to with this, with all the work, right?
Okay, I organized for my students like a conversation club tomorrow because I only have individual classes, 1-to-1. So it's okay, I'm going to invite 2 of you or 3 of you. Let's see if they attend for a conversation club tomorrow, and let's see if they like the activity together because they don't know each other or anything. So I'll try to get something out of that practice.
Okay, but you might discover something. Maybe you can do this once a month, or that maybe you shouldn't do that anymore. Maybe, I mean, you're going to learn that, and you're going to show us, or maybe me, with this homework, what happened with that.
And I will have to ask for their feedback. Say, did you like working with somebody else?
Yeah.
Or do you prefer to work like as we've been doing for a long time, just with your teacher and that's it?
Yeah.
It depends.
But there are a lot of discoveries in that. You might find things that you might not have in your mind, or that they were not like in your map. And when you ask for these questions to your students, you learn a lot. It has happened to me when I use these small questions. with my students. It's very good because I see new things that I wasn't aware of. So it could be a good idea. I mean, and that's the thing here. I mean, that's the goal, that you learn some contents, theory and everything, but you also get it into practice. You create things from what you learn and you put it into action, and that's the ideal scenario, right?
Okay, so basically, I'm sorry, basically on activity 1.6, what we have to do is our regular planning. Obviously, including the knowledge that we acquired during the first unit. And then an activity 2.5, which is the following one, to that same planning, we're gonna include or add what we learned in the second unit. That's basically what you're asking for. Obviously, if we don't have the evidence, because, well, I'm in front of a group, but like you mentioned, some institutes do not allow, for example, us, we have strictly prohibited to record any student because we don't have the consent of the parents. Second of all, they won't let us show what we are doing in our institution. I mean, I would have to do it in secret, but I mean, I'll be incurring something that I don't want to. So, I mean, you understand what I mean? Because
Yes,
I can get I don't know, maybe just a call of attention, but I can get suspended or something or fined, whatever. So we do that. We do the experiment, if you want to call it like that, and then we can interpret the results that we saw and just let you know if this worked or if it didn't work. Why did we think it did and why did we think that it didn't, or why is it good or why is it not good?
yeah, what would you change to make
What
it,
would I change?
or
Okay.
if you don't think it would work at all, why? Give your statements, arguments.
Okay.
I would like to say that I'm completely in the same frequency as you are, because as I told you, it happened to me that I had this kind of difficulties. And maybe the proposal from me to Unives would be to make like this exception if you are not having right now classes with any group, you might do this instead. If you have a group, but still you can't show all the material, you can't show a video, a conversation recording, or whatever, I believe in my own criteria is that you can show these conclusions, the information. I suggested once when I was with some thesis student, and she had this kind of problem because she was working with children, with small kids. And I told her, well, change the names of your students, and you are not going to say what institution you are working in. So you are just going to say in this institution X. And I have the group A with students John and Martha, and okay. And she had the real results, I mean, the numbers, the times with the activities, everything, but without the names or any name. And maybe you can do something like that to show just part of the information in order to make a whole picture of what you are doing and what you've achieved, but without being personal with your student, because we don't want that kind of trouble. I know you can get some I mean, very bad things could happen, and we don't want to be part of it, of course. So I think that changing names or changing some things in order not to show all the information, or just explaining your conclusion could be enough. I mean, for me, could be enough. Okay.
Do you think it might be worth, like in the at the end when we give some feedback about the course, say which activity was the easiest one, which one the difficult one? Should we include this kind of information there?
I would do it. Definitely, I would do it. And I will do it from my perspective as a tutor. Of course, it's very important that you do that, because I can have a point of view, but it's more valuable if you students take this into the next level, which is not just me, but the coordinator. Yeah. Tarai, Lisette, do you want to share something with us?
No, that's all, teacher. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
I think I'm good. I teach to kindergarten, but I don't know. I think I understood what I have to do. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And do you feel this is something that's just my thought? Do you feel like the course is going a little bit quickly, or do you think the pace is correct and it's a good timing? I don't know, because I feel it a little bit in a hurry more than other courses that I've teached. So I don't know, maybe it's my perception only. I would like to know.
As there's been a lot of reading, and we have to make some, like Chris said, experiments, and we cannot do this in only 1 or 2 days. Yes, the planning and with several students. It's not going to take, to organize a conversation club took me like 2 weeks to see which date fits better for them, for the schedule, etc. And the people who will participate that more or less have a similar level. So I couldn't do it like last week when the activity was supposed to be done. It's okay, I'll wait, I'll focus on the following activities. But I particularly think this particular course, it's a lot of information, a lot of reading, and the time is not enough.
Short, yes. Because I've taught like 2 or 3 subjects in here in the English program, and I felt that they were like okay with the quantity of work and the timing, but in this particular course, I feel that we are going very fast. Sometimes I can't go on time with the grading, and it has never happened that to me. So that's why I ask if you feel the same, or it's just me that I'm getting irresponsible with the age. I'm teaching and I'm getting irresponsible. I don't know. So slow.
No, in my opinion, like Guillermina said, well, it's a lot of reading, which we should do in order to learn. And the activities, like you said, we cannot plan and take it to practice within the same week. And more, for example, on my case, well, I have my planning for my whatever course I'm giving. The school gives me the material, so I have to work with that. And if I have something extra, which is my own personal homework, well, I need to find the space to fill it in there. And it's not as easy as it might look. Like Guillermina said, we might do it, but we need a little bit more time, the time that we don't have.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit harder, but I mean, not impossible. We're almost halfway through. But yeah, this one in particular is a little bit harder for all of us. But I mean, with the help of everybody and yourself, we are going to be able to achieve it, which is our goal.
Yeah, yeah, and this group works fine. There are some people that are not submitting anything, and I'm a little bit worried. But
They'll submit it 2 days before the end of the course. Don't worry.
Or
They
the night
submit.
before.
They
5
submit
minutes
everything.
before.
Yes, but they submit everything. Yes, but don't worry, they will.
I don't worry if you do that because I'm really so used to receive homeworks really minutes before the course closes, so it's okay. But there are some people that are not even getting into the platform. They are not even visiting the activities, at least watching them. So I don't know what's happening with some of them. Okay. And I feel that the time is very short, that this is a subject that might be better if they had 1 or 2 weeks more. Because I do feel that the activities are a little bit heavy, and I don't know. I understand that when we are studying in this kind of way, like the virtual model, we are not the student that has nothing else to do, nothing in their life but to see their friends whenever they want to, and they only have to study. That's it, because at this level, we all have a very big life. I mean, with responsibilities where some of us have family, have a job, we are studying, we are having like a lot of things, maybe projects, and I don't know. The other subjects weren't for me this kind of heavy or strong or full of activities, but this one I feel like it is. But well, we can all make our small contribution at the end, telling what's happening. And as for myself, for the moment, I'm going to be flexible with this evidence part. If you give me some conclusion, just try to be clear enough with the things you've done. I don't need names. I just want to know that you implement something, what was the result of it, and how do you feel that it really changed something that you wanted to? I mean, if you really achieved the goal or not, or partially, and what would it change if you want to get to that place that you didn't before? I mean, just make some statements with it.
Right.
Well,
No, it's clear what we can do. If it's not exactly what the instructions said, but
yeah, I know it's
listen.
not. I mean, I might be more orthodox and ask for the things with everything, every point in its place, but that won't be very human part from myself. I think that we might change that a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
And I do also because
Thank you, teacher.
the students, I mean, in this case, you are going to be stressed with something that really don't get us to a specific place. I mean, not this goal. I believe that we can achieve different things here. And it doesn't have to be exactly that way. And we're still going to learn, and we're still going to practice and have some experiences, and they will be very rich and valuable. Yeah, I don't see any problem, actually. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, sure. And well, this course is the one I have 3 courses, and I'm a little bit confused. This is going to end at 5.
November the 5th.
Yeah, November. Okay. Yeah, we have still like 3 weeks or more.
2 and what's left of this one.
Yeah, 2.5. Okay. Well, yeah, because it's we still have the 3rd and 4th module, right? Yeah, four modules.
No, there's no 4th.
Oh, I'm confusing with, yeah, sorry. I'm confusing with the master because I have
You
this
want to add another one?
and the master and the doctorate also, the PhD. So yeah, this is only 3 modules. Oh, okay. I was worried because I was thinking on the other group, the one that nobody showed up. I was just like waiting for them, and they have 4 modules and the final activity. But they
Or
are,
maybe they're doing good and they don't need any help.
yeah, I'm sure they don't need my help or anything. But the thing is that they never ask in the help forum. They never use it, and I know that some of them have some doubts because I have my contacts. I have my spies. No, but I know someone in the group, a student, and he tell me, no, you know, they have doubts. They don't know how to do this, but they don't ask. They ask in between themselves, but not to the tutor. Okay, well, why can I do it? They don't ask me. They can't.
Yes, that's why I like these sessions, because sometimes we ask each other, but we are in the same situations. I have no idea, but let's ask.
At least I don't feel alone. Yeah, that helps also. but it's not enough. No, you should always ask. I mean, there's the help forum, and use it. It's for you. I mean, in this subject and in any other, it's for you. And if your teacher or your tutor is not answering quickly, I mean, one day, then you can go with the coordinator and tell her, you know, I have these doubts and nobody's helping me, and my tutor is not answering, and it's been a day and a half or 2 days or more, and I'm not feeling well, because Unives is always worried of students that are not getting the attention they have to. So if we are not giving a good service, you should help. You should.
Yeah, we have had some tutors that have never answered, or just would you ask something and it takes them 2, 3, maybe the following week they answer you. But I mean, it shouldn't be like that, because it says there that you guys need to be in touch with us within the next 24 hours. I know you guys, like us, you have your life and you have your whatever have to do, but we do too. So yeah, I mean, it's in this case, it's your job whenever you sign for it, they told you, you know what, you need to use the platform, you need to be checking it every now and then because students are going to ask you whatever. But like I told you, some of them are not really what's it called, like into
Committed.
it, or I don't know. We had a tutor that she was lost for, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks, and whenever she appeared, she said that she had an accident and this and that. And I said, okay, but you should have told us. You know what? Send us a message. I'm not going to be available for the next whatever days. See how you figure it out. And we would have figured it out, but she was not there. We managed it to finish the course. And I want to mention that Guillermina, Saraí, Lisette, and I'm missing one guy, and myself are the only ones that been always here, always here, always here, and we try to help each other whenever we need something. And I hope that we continue together until the end.
I think you will too, because it happens that the students which are very responsible and they feel this compromise with their learning, they always go together and they get to the end. It's hard to hear that, and I don't want to know names, but you should tell the coordinator when something like that happens again, because yes, we, the tutors, sign a contract, and the contract tells us that we have to be aware what's happening, and we have to visit the platform at least once a day, hopefully every 24 hours, which is not always easy because sometimes you can do it at 5 in the morning or sometimes at 5 in the evening or whatever. But still, we try, well, we should try to be there and to answer like 24 hours average. But I know sometimes it's not possible, but maybe 2 days, but not more, because if the contract says what we should do, that's written. I mean, it's not a surprise. Oh, I didn't know that I had to. We know. For example, with the grading, we have more time for it, because when the activity is closed, we still have some days to grade it. So it's not that urgent, but the help forum is something that we have to take a look at every day.
Do you have like a couple of weeks after the course is finished to grade us?
No. When the course gets to its final date, we have, it depends, but 2 or 3 days.
Well, our last grade from the last class, we had to ask for it. The teacher never gave us the grade. We have to call we have to text the coordinator so he can do something, and he finally, he answered us that he was going to see it with a tutor, and we got our grades like 2-3 days ago, barely.
But the course ended like
it ended 2 weeks ago, or when we started your
when
course.
we started this one.
Yes.
Oh.
We had to ask for it.
But you know what? They asked us. I mean, maybe I'm not giving you the best advices, but I think it's important that you know this. When a course is going to end, they always ask us. I mean, it's like, I remind you that, and they tell us that we have to tell all our students what their final grade is. And we also have to be very careful that all the grades are complete. I mean, what you do, if you didn't do some homework, of course it's a 0, but I mean, that everything is graded.
Mhm.
What else? Oh, that nobody has tell you something that they don't agree with. I mean, the grading thing. Because if there's some mistake, we have to be aware of it and we have to make the change. Or if it's not something that was a problem of the teacher, but the student, well, you have to say, I'm sorry, but you really didn't submit this homework, or you never participate in this forum or whatever. But if it's some mistake from the tutor, we have to change that grade.
Yeah, well,
We get that mail every time, and they tell us you have, for example, one day to send the mails with the final grade. You have one day to wait until any student has something to say. And if anybody tells anything, if anybody is arguing anything, then you can make the report. They send us a format and we fill in the report, and then you make some kind of, it's not a signing, but you send this confirmation that the report is complete, and there's when the process ends. So
I understand that some of us, like you mentioned earlier, some of us wait till the last minute to send all the works, and obviously you will need to grade them, and it will take you time. I know it's not just me as a students. We're like, I don't know, maybe 14, 15 within a group, and I know that it's going to take you time. So I understand that maybe if the class ends on Sunday, the course finishes on Sunday, let's say I'm thinking about maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, it's normal for me. But then a week happened, and then the next week happened again or passed, and still I don't know my grade. I said, well, like you mentioned, how am I going to argue something that I don't even know?
You can't.
When we get the grades, I have no idea which activity.
Exactly.
Of course.
In which activity I made a mistake or something that took points away from my grade. So
you will never know.
I'll never know. And my anxiety won't let me sleep. Where did I miss that point?
Well, fortunately, like we said, I mean, we've been like on top of it, and we know that our grades are maybe not the best, but are good grades, and we know that we're not going to have that issue. But like you said, maybe the tutor makes a mistake, we're not going to know. We're not
Yes.
going to be able to figure it out. Hey, what happened? I mean, what activity did I miss, or where? Because sometimes the last week's activities, we don't have the feedback.
But
And we
then
don't know.
that is the last one.
Exactly.
Because we completed all of them, and we were just missing the final activities. Okay, if there is a point or 2 points less, it's in the final activity.
Mm-hmm.
But when we missed more grades, then I'll never know, and I should live with it.
Actually, I feel a little bit bad with myself because I like to grade. I mean, with 2 or 3 days after the activity is sent, but I haven't been able with this very big charge. I don't know how to say that, but this heavy quantity of activities in this course, and I don't like to make it this way. I actually never do it this way, but I understand you, because when I send my activity, I want to know if it was correct, if there's something that I can change. For example, we tutors have to give students the opportunity to improve their grade if the activity is not 100% correct. For example, if I'm telling you, well, you know, you forgot to write your sources and you have 5 points less. Okay, then you should have, if you want to, but you have the opportunity to send again your homework with the sources. So you can get your 5 points, or maybe 4 points because you didn't do it on the first.
That has happened to me before. So, some tutor returned me some work because I missed something, and they gave me the opportunity to correct it and get my grade completely.
Yes, yes.
But if you don't give me the feedback,
you will never know.
I will never know if it was correct or not. Like, for example, right now, if I do the activity 1.6, how I understood, and it was incorrect, but then I got to the point of 2.5, which is the following, and if I don't have the feedback for the first one, I'm just going to go on with the same of that one. And if you don't tell me that it was wrong, I'm going to do the next one wrong also. And then you're not going to tell me, and the course is going to end, and I never knew that it was wrong.
Oh, but that's not right. That's not right. And well, I don't know if you have heard my feedback. I like to make it by audio because I believe it's more personal. And I don't know, I like it. I think it's better, however. And you will find that when you don't have the 100% of your points, I am telling you, you know, you missed this. I was expecting to see this and it wasn't there in your document or whatever, but I explain why you don't have all your points. And I always expect that you can, if you want to, because it's not mandatory, but if you want to, you can send again your homework and I will grade it again, gladly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. I know it's late over in Mexico. I'm fine. I mean, it's barely 10 o'clock here, but I don't know if you guys have any other thing to say.
Get some coffee. Oh, you know, it was meant to be until 45. Anyway, it was fun to talk with you. And well, maybe if you don't have any suggestion, I understand what you said, and I'm going to take some action about it. But if you don't have anything else to tell me, I just would like to know if you're feeling fine with the course. I mean, we've talked about the things that we have to adjust. But if you have some final words, I would like to listen to you.
I just want to say thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. But I haven't found, particularly in this course and in the previous one, I haven't found the resources quite useful. I've had to use some others, but like the ones I found here, like one of the reports of Latin America didn't talk about Latin America at all. So after reading 100 pages, there was no Latin American.
Yes, you're right on that. Yes.
It's okay. We need to find other sources, etc. But
well, yes, but
these resources should be useful.
Yeah, or they shouldn't be there. And because in some courses they only say use your own or make your own research, for example. And it's okay. I mean, I am okay with it. But if you are reading, expecting to find something and it's not there, it's like deception, right? Because the time you invest is very valuable. And yeah, I don't think that's very good, but something else that we can report, you and me.
Okay.
Other than that, everything is okay.
Okay, thank you. And Sarai, Lisette? You want to say something?
Yes, I also want to thank you because I love your feedbacks.
Oh,
I never answer back, but I always listen to them or read them, and I really appreciate them. I also agree with my partners about the activities. I'd rather do two very, very, very meaningful activities during the week than for short activities in which I spend a lot of time. And um, most of us have to uh, make lesson plans. I have two different grades, and my lesson plans usually must be very, very um, long or detailed, and I spent a lot of time. So it is like stressing and frustrating to spend my whole weekend trying to do everything that I have to do, and also during the afternoons. I know that is something that is a challenge, but I insist that I prefer to do meaningful activities than many activities. Just and sometimes they are. It's not the case in this particular subject, but in the last one, I felt as if the activities were repeated, but with different methods. For example, the same topic in an infograph and the same topic in a mind map, the same topic in a concept map, and it's just spending time in the same thing. I mentioned it in the survey and everywhere, but I really hope that this could change. And I wanted to ask you too about this app. I don't remember the name, but I couldn't use it.
the CMAP tool?
The
The CMAP.
CMAP,
Yes,
Horrible.
I personally didn't like it. I think it is like an 80s app.
Very, very old. No friendly at all.
No, actually, my laptop was frozen when I used it. I couldn't use it, and that's why I made my concept maps in another one and in a different one. But
No, I don't like it. I've never liked it. When I started teaching at Unives, which was like 16 years ago, 16 years ago, sweet 16 years ago. And we used CMAP tools, and it was kind of a new tool. It was fine, but now there are a lot of beautiful tools, useful, friendly, intuitive. I mean, they are so static. They're oh, and they still use CMAP tools. I hope
Need to
nobody.
update that.
Yeah, I hope nobody from Unives listen to me saying this because I really don't like
yes,
it.
it's like
So,
if we were giving to our children cassettes
Oof,
for
yes,
listening to music,
yeah,
right?
yes,
I felt like that,
VHS.
and I used them. I used to listen to music in cassettes, so I don't
of
use
course.
that
Yes.
Yeah,
anymore.
but no, if it helps, send your map in a different tool. I not only don't care, I prefer to watch a different tool. I know that it says there, and I can't say it officially, like in the forum. I can't say you can use whatever. No, it's not okay. But I tell you right now, if you want to send it in a different tool, for me, it's perfect.
Yes, it took me several, but really several hours and I
Yes,
like a couple of days to figure out just how to use it. Forget about the information, just how to use it. And I was so mad at it.
Yeah, it's also installing it. It's a long time for everything. No, it's not friendly, not friendly at all. I love
Yes.
it.
Very poor.
Lisa, anything you want to share with us before we go? Because it's
Well, it's a similar situation with the readings. I noticed that the topic is something, but the reading is about meaningful learning. Or the topic is meaningful learning, and the reading is about the 4 pillars. So it is not coherent information. So I was confused in that part. And in the CMAP, I couldn't install the first time, but now I tried it again. It was really difficult, but I couldn't. And the rest, I think I have to make a big research with the topic. I have many readings about the information from my final project. But at the end, I like the subject, and I like all the information that I am finding.
okay. Good to hear that. If you have this, I don't know if you do, but if you have a WhatsApp group or whatever, maybe you can publish there some of the things that you found, and maybe it's helpful for another of your colleagues. Could be, right? If I've spent some time searching for something and I find some article or lecture or whatever that it can be helpful, maybe I can share it with my peers. Could be. I don't know. It's just an idea. I'm not, it's a suggestion, but you don't have to take it. Yeah.
Something about the wiki. It's like I saw the last wiki, the last person. Yes, and it was a totally different work. So there was nothing of the work of the previous person and my work and my pictures. Like, are we supposed to erase everything that the previous people wrote? I just added to what the first person did. I just added a few lines or something like that and added a picture. And I would suppose that the rest would add. Yes, if they wanted to correct a mistake, okay, but add. But then when I saw the last one, all the previous works disappeared.
No, you can correct, you can modify, you could even erase some parts, but it's a lack of respect to the others to erase significant parts of the wiki. It's not correct. I mean, that's the spirit of wiki, that everybody can put a hand on it and make the change they want. But I think that, again, this is more an attitude thing, and we should respect what.
Or a not knowing.
Yeah.
Or not,
Maybe
maybe
it
not
was a
knowing how to
mistake.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think that's correct. Happily, there's an history changes history. I don't know what the name is, where we can see what you wrote and what you raised and what you changed. So as a tutor, we have that attribution.
Okay.
We have that permission, and I suggest that always everything that you've added, save it. And there is always an activity after the wiki where you make some reflection or some conclusion or whatever. And there you can put the work you did. This is what I add to the wiki, and I think that, right? And that way we tutors can see specifically what everyone did, Or we can go to the, I can't remember the name, some historic change. I don't know. But we can see what everybody did, how many times they make some contribution, what day, at what hour, everything. Okay,
All right.
Okay,
well,
thank you.
thank you for being here. I like it very much. It was like very, very quick for me, and now I see, oh, it's an hour. Wow. It went fast. Thank you very much. I want you to know that I am there watching and very attentive of your doubts in the help forum or some messages that some of you send me, and I will hurry with the grading. I know that I'm not on time. I don't like this, so I will hurry up so you can have your feedbacks and you can make changes if it's the case. Okay, but I'm here to help you anytime.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
nice
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah. Good night.
Nice to
Because
see
it's
you
time
again.
to go to sleep.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.